So why do I have this Lego Ninjago kit on my work desk? That is the question. It's all about one part, a new part that one of my subscribers told me about. Bloxy, thanks very much. It is something that will make my favorite part, the Technic Rotation Disc, possibly much better. As always, if you like my videos, please subscribe, like, etc., blah, blah, blah. So, what is the part? Well, I'll show you that in a second, but for now, let's talk about hip attachments, because you know I'm obsessed with legs. So, this is my simpler version. This is not anything crazy. Everybody does this, where effectively you have your rotation disc like this, and it's attached to some of these ball joints, ratchet joint things here, whose name I always forget, but they basically look like that. So what's the problem with this? Well, if I take off some of this accoutrement, you can see here it takes up a lot of space, right? If I take off more of this stuff, this fanciness I put on to try to cover all of the space it takes up. Basically what you're left with is this long part sticking out, and you can use 2 attachments or 3, depends on how strong you need it. So in addition to taking up a lot of room, because you have to attach it, kind of leaning towards the back, it does end up kind of putting you in a position where you have to put your hip joint farther forward than you typically would. You know, if I was able to build this in a way that this part didn't stick out so much, then I'd probably center it more and it would be more like an actual biomechanical hip joint. So what's interesting about this new set and this new part is theoretically we'll be able to get rid of this back half altogether, and the bottom part of this rotation disc here, I can't remember which one it is right now, but if I remove these here, one of these fits into this new part that's effectively just a round joint, much like a real hip joint, that will have 2 of these guys sticking out of it, and then you can just attach that to a brick with holes. So let's try finding those parts, and let's try applying it to this design here and see what happens. Okay, let's open this thing up. This is a strange experience for me. I almost never buy actual sets for myself. And this thing, the Ninja Ultra Combo Mech set was 125 Canadian, which is a whole lot of money for 4 parts, but we'll see if it pays off, and I expect those parts to show up on Bricklink as soon as maybe these become economical enough to have some Bricklink sellers buy and then part out. Let's find out where the hell these parts are. Bags, bags, bags. Aha, here we go. There it is, this little magic piece here. We'll see if this solves so many of the woes that I've been bitching about from my first video, trying to do everything I can to make the heavier mech stand up. So typically, again, you would have one of these connecting to one of these. So let's see, which one do you attach to? Let's guess the one with the little ridges in it. That would be this one here. Yeah, there it is. So it just ratchets up and down, just like anything. Let's compare it to the normal one. Huh. Seems like it might be a little bit looser, which is never a good thing. Or I could just be imagining it. I'm just probably just imagining it. So now you have this beautiful half rotation disc with the ability to mount it without this thing sticking out the back. So let's find the parts that are going to attach to it. I know what they are, so I'll just find my own instead of looking through these bags. No patience. So if you have these guys here, it's the exact same black part. And then that just goes on like that. So let me just grab another one of those. And this kit, the reason I bought this one, there's another one, Lloyd's Mech, that also has this new part, but it only has 2 of them. This one, the combo, has 4, so I figured if I'm gonna spend an excessive amount of money, I may as well get 4 of these new parts and then conceivably use it for 2 of my mechs. Or, because again, all you're gonna get out of this is abduction and not lateral rotation, maybe because they're a smaller part, I can use all 4 of them, connect it to each other, and have the inner joints provide lateral and the exterior joints provide abduction. It's something that would have required a much bigger frame in the past, but maybe it's doable now, we'll see. So again, you just have these 2 little guys here, and just plug into any Technic brick with holes, and then you can have your abducted leg, and man, is that ever space efficient. Now, one thing I do, as always, is I obsessively double things up. So I do use 2 there, but as it stands, these ratchet joints were only plugged into the first one anyway, and then I use other cross beams there, cross pins to connect it together. So basically what I'm going to try to do is redesign this torso to just use this brick and these 2 ratchet connectors, and let's see how it goes. Okay, so I've taken the legs off, and here's my lower torso here, which typically would look something like this. I would have these 3 ratchet ball joints there. And again, this is going to go, the front one, by necessity, would go through the forwardmost hole on the rotation disc there, this one here. So what we're going to do is pull that out, and then I'm going to put this on here, and then see if we can center the hip a little bit better so it looks a little bit less forward biased. So let's see, I'll put corner bricks on here. See if this thing clears. Yep. No, you know what, screw it. Just doing a test anyways. So, I'm going to move that forward 1 notch there so it's centered with the actual torso mounts. Let's do that. I don't care what it looks like for now. And then we'll see how this attaches. So to give you a picture there of the difference, I mean, you can see just how less room it takes, right? And you're not going to have that big chunk of nonsense back there. It could look like an actual proper, robot hip. So now I'm going to take this thing and I guess see if I can remove the back parts of the rotation disc. And I'm sure I'm going to have clearance issues down here, so I'll probably have to remove some of this covering, and then let's see if it works. Okay, so the first test is a no-go. So basically what I did is I modified this topmost joint, so this would be the actual hip joint here, and I've removed the back half of the rotation disc, and instead of using a second rotation disc here like I've used everywhere else, I just put a 1x3 lift arm there to space it out, just trying some stuff for now. But if you've watched my tutorial videos on large mech legs, you know that I use this kind of box frame up here to hold these guys together. But the problem is, if you can see that there, I know it's hard to see black. There's not enough clearance. So this 1x2 brick here, holy cow, that's dark. This 1x2 brick that is holding in the back half here, you can see how it just comes slightly in here, which is where this wants to attach. So that's just not gonna get in there. So, you know, let me try. I mean, since there's gonna be a clearance issue here anyway, next thing I'll try is, I guess I could use a 1x2 lift arm. I just don't know if that's actually gonna hold it together. Let's see what happens. Okay, that's cool. So I didn't actually need that back side of the box frame over here. It actually holds together pretty well, especially when you go ahead and reinforce it with, you know, another corner plate over here, and then you know, a 1x4 plate up here to hold it together. But that's pretty. I mean, really, the whole thing is wiggling now. So let's see if it fits now, or if it's still going to be too close. In which case, I'll have to push out where it meets to the lower torso. So let's take a look at this. Well, it connects. That was easy. Whew, man, that is not tight. What am I missing here? As soon as you abduct it, it just pulls off that easily. I wonder if there's a secret. I'll have to look at the manual. I mean, it clears fine, and you know, looks nice and tight in there. And I'd still build up this part of the leg here. That would be easy enough by building off of this brick there and doing some of the stuff I normally do with my other leg technique, which uses a ball joint up here and then a double joint friction tube at the back. But why the hell is this so floppy? Let me look at the instruction manual and see if I'm missing something. Okay, so I looked through the manual. I didn't see anything that I wouldn't have expected. The only thing that they did do is they've got this 2x2 curved slope on the other side of the rotation disc attached with a pin and axle. So let's see if just having something sticking in there somehow adds some strength. Maybe it does. Maybe this is all needed. Wouldn't that be something? So let's see. Yeah, you know, that's all I needed. It just needed basically a cross member there to keep the outer part from flexing off of the inner part. And I'll probably come up with something much stronger. Maybe instead of this lift arm here, I'll actually bring up a lift arm all the way, a 5-hole lift arm, and I'll just use a round pin here. And actually, let's do that right now. Okay, that should do it. So what I did is I took out that 3-hole lift arm and I put in a 5-hole lift arm. And just like this is no different than my other box frames. You can see it in my other videos how I'm connecting these. I just have some pins going through here, but then I've got a 3-length pin that I shoved all the way through here into here. So this should be super strong. Let's see what happens here. Okay, moment of truth. Oh yeah, that is not going anywhere. So really, it's just a matter of firming up the outside of the rotation disc against this new I don't even know what this thing is called, but let's see here. Stand it up. So yeah, I mean, it seems pretty. You You know, it seems pretty strong. I just articulated a leg there from spamming it, but that's pretty nice. I mean, look how small that is there. You can build that out. It looks like a real proper hip. This is obviously digitigrade, so you've got your thigh here, shin, torso, metatarsus. This would be even easier for chicken walker style, but compare that to the old one and just the amount of bulk there is there. Like that's nuts. Oh, that's interesting. That fell forward pretty easily, hey? Huh, yeah, maybe not as much friction as it would have otherwise. But then again, I mean, it's pretty unlikely you're going to be just doing that. Let's see. I mean, yeah, interesting. Anyway, so there it is. I think I'll try converting this entire thing over to using this new joint now. This is the, I think this is my matriarch legs. And again, there it is. Just how much less room it takes up. I will find out the name of this part and I'll post it in the show notes. I posted it on my Instagram recently when I found out about it. And yeah, we'll see how it goes. Could be a big deal. Could be maybe another kind of not quite strong enough joint. We'll see how it goes. But anyways, that's enough babbling from me. Thank you for watching me figure this out. And yeah, give it a thumbs up, subscribe if you like my videos. And I'll see you back here or on Instagram. Thanks very much.